Team Secrets turn to battle. Dire Team battle. Team Secrets turn to Dire Team battle.
You burn the bridges to build the city.
Dire Team battle.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we go, game number 3, deciding match here between Team Secret and the Final Tribe here with the China Supermajor Group C action. Loser will move on to the losers match, of course. Winner to the winners match. Pretty simple right there. It's essentially a mini double elimination tournament here in these group stages. We now got a Warlock first pick from the Final Tribe. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Fluff once again. So yet another different start to the draft somewhat as the Warlock opens up here for TFT.
Yeah, I'm okay with this, but I really like the formula that they had last game, which was really strong laning supports. And seeing as Hanskin did play the Warlock and the Chen, I'm guessing that they won't really have another option like that, but I guess Chen is banned after all. But Warlock, we saw that he couldn't really impact the lane too much, so that makes me a little bit worried because Secret seems to be very greedy. Hopefully Secret adjusts a little bit and doesn't go straight for that snapping advantage. Maybe consider a hero like Bane, who is very strong in the lane and also throughout the game. But they could do anything they want. There's Team Secret. Elder Titan, that's a great laning support. Always happy to see that. He will just, even if Warlock versus Elder Titan, if you just imagine that's probably the heroes that will be fighting each other. It's like, what can Warlock really do? You have this dude running at you with Stout Shield. He will have 2 heroes hit by his Astral Spirit, and very easy.
10 seconds.
I think that even Bane is potentially more likely now too. It's a good setup for Elder Titan, and Puppey does play a lot of Bane, so really continues to be an enticing pick for your Team Secret here. But we also have been seeing a support core duo in these opening drafts for even either side here. So options.
Yeah, they're probably questioning if they want to go for that first phase Beastmaster again. Personally, I feel like you just show so much by doing so. I feel like picking a support here is not really gonna punish you whatsoever. Okay, they go for the Venge. So, it's always a good hero. It's always about executing it properly and getting out of the laning phase. If that last game PL, if he had a better laning phase, I'm confident that they could have took it. It's just a matter of whether they'll get the matchups they want. And Luna. Okay. They're sticking to their guns. Sometimes I question like whether it's the right thing to run it back or not if the other team has figured it out, especially in a game where you can be eliminated. It's a little worrisome. So either Secret's going to adapt and they know what to do after thinking about it, or they will just get crushed again. But I think it's a lot less about the Luna and more just about the support matchups in that last game, because a lot of that game was really decided by the laning phase.
To be clear, I don't know if you just missed the words, but no one gets eliminated here from the group stages even in general.
I mean, it's like best of 3 is you don't want to lose that.
Obviously, getting knocked down to then the lower match. It's get the point there. It's not like just your round robin where it's like, okay, we just move on to the next match now type deal.
For sure.
Bans continuing. Obviously, a 5th ban for either side before the picks. Look at that ban on Ogre. How about that? It's again.
I like that.
Pablo played a good Ogre last game, so.
Team Secrets
There's
turn to battle.
I can't think of that many heroes that are just so aggressive and punishing on the lane, and if they're willing to pick it, especially with those new buffs, Venge cannot do anything to Ogre whatsoever. So he does not want to deal with that.
So no Secret thinking about. Going to be the final or the 5th ban before we get into the 3rd picks. Ember Spirit taken away from the Final Tribe, so more comfort options taken away by either side. But yeah, Secret for the 3rd game in a row is going to go the Vengeful Spirit. Still, the potential is there to be core, so and then that could be quite the idea from Secret, where they you play 2 games in a row as support, you make the other team think that it's going to be a support, and then all of a sudden ends up in the hands of Ace, for example. That could be open.
Then. It's definitely a very versatile hero. It's going to be it's always very effective against Luna. We didn't get to see it last game because they were so far ahead and she had complete the Lincolns, but when the swaps come out in the mid game, if you're on even pace, you could just melt easily. So the hero does pay itself off. if you get out of the laning phase. It's interesting that Final Tribe last game when they picked Luna, they did ban out the
Team
Ember and the Void.
Secret's
So
turn to
Void is in the
pick.
pool. They were very afraid of that matchup, and I can definitely see why. Void can lock down Luna, and if he just pops BKB, gets a couple right clicks, a lot of times he could just clean her up before Butterfly. So that is one thing that they want to be afraid of. However, I don't think Void is the hardest carry in the game, but Secret did pick it, and it synergizes really well with Elder Titan's ultimate.
10 seconds remaining.
I was going to say that if you didn't, so I'm glad you did. Yeah, definitely high
5
potential
seconds
here,
remaining.
especially because of that, if anything, too. So wouldn't be surprised that does come out for Secret. But for now, down to 50 seconds already. They've used a bit of reserve time already going into just their third pick now. So Puppy's going to have to start thinking a little quicker.
Dire
reacting.
team pick.
And let's see a Fada Brewmaster.
Yeah, that could be pretty oppressive for the lane of the Warlock and Luna, just because a lot of Luna's damage coming out has to do with the right clicks and abusing the Luna blessing. But when you do throw that haze out, Luna's attack animations, it's kind of long-winded,
10
and if he
seconds
does miss the
remaining.
attack, a lot of times the Brewmaster trades really effectively. Pairing that with an Elder
5
Titan
seconds
and not really
remaining.
many
Turn to
disables
pick.
coming out from the support, that's going to be, while we talk about disables, there's the Earthshaker. But yeah, so what I would like to see, like Elder Titan Brew on paper, will just like smash the Warlock into the ground. And secondly, that will be really annoying against the Luna as well, pressuring him in the lane. I would like to see this Earthshaker actually, if it's played as a 4 position, just
10
babysit this Luna and
seconds
guarantee her a
remaining.
game, because I think part of this Warlock opening
5
means that their
seconds
laning phase is not
remaining.
going to be as good, and they need to secure that laning phase, because Luna having a good game is really critical right now, seeing as they picked in the first phase. They're going to be subject to being countered really easily.
Back here over to Secret. Still need their mid and their safe lane option because they have the
Dire
overall
team
final
pick.
pick.
Whoa.
Ace Clinks? How about that?
That is a hero. Oh my
That's
goodness.
there's still 2 picks to come from TFT, so feels a little risky, but at the same time, it's. I mean, I don't know where I was going with that. It seems risky.
Oh, it's like sometimes like a Clinks is really, really good right now. I believe
10 seconds remaining.
he does everything well. He kills heroes. He does insane DPS. He
5
breaks
seconds
all the objectives,
remaining.
including Roshan, and Strafe has just got so many buffs recently. So he's looking like a good hero on paper. Maybe the Final Tribe, the best response here is if they pick an offlaner that can punish the Clinks. Now, whether we know what that is, it's up to them. Personally, I haven't seen much Clinks, so it's hard to say. So we would have to go purely off of theory craft.
Well, like what, Slaughter, Corrosive Haze, There's always
I think
that
Axe. Axe will have a hard laning phase, but if Axe ever catches out Clinks, that's really annoying. However, they do have Venge, so never mind. I think it's better if they just focus on the laning phase. So it definitely needs to be a hero that's not melee, because if you're a melee hero, you'll just get run down very easily by the searing arrows. And if it is melee, then it should be able to fight back somehow, like with a stun. I'm not seeing that many heroes. Like a Sand King could have been pretty good, but that is out of the pool. Definitely not Earthshaker offlane at this point. That's not an option. He will just get completely crushed. The other option they have is potentially aggro tri-lane, but you know how I feel about that. Not amazing.
Yeah.
They could put the Luna up there. They could put Luna plus 1 support up there. Luna will have a pretty easy time trading with Clinks and farming, but it's a really compromising position, so I don't like that either. We will just have to see what they think. They're going to have to take a lot of time. It's not a very common hero.
LC is still on the board. That's that comfort hero for Jonas fan. They go
It's
Dragon
not
Knight.
Dragon Knight either. That's a DK mid for sure, which is okay because Final Tribe has to show anyway. So whatever they're gonna pick, it's gonna be weird. I feel like whatever offline they pick is not gonna get banned, and the DK they feel like it's just a safe choice for them. It worked in the first game, but I think it is.
10
They should be able to
seconds
counter it
remaining.
harder this time and not just pick a Invoker into it or have Invoker
5
matchup,
seconds
because
remaining.
that's very good for DK. So maybe something a little bit more oppressive. I want to just look at the list and see what I think could crush the Clinks, because this is going to be really, really important. See if they can punish that.
I know Jonas does have history playing Enigma as a hero.
Enigma. Well, Enigma into Venge is very sketchy. You'll never
That's
get hold
true.
off.
And
The-
it's not the best team against.
This Venge pick helps Clinks out so much.
Dire team back. Dire team pick.
Clinks is one of those heroes where the second he
Turn
gets
to
caught out,
pick.
that's when he's done. So that's where a hero like Axe would just destroy him, or like a Legion. But because of the fact that they do have Avenge, it's just like it's really nice.
God,
They
that
pick
was
Necrolite.
yeah, that was like snap the puck ban, and then they snapped Spectre ban, and then picked Necrophoso.
Interesting. Necro. Well, the thing about Clinks too is that he can go mid as well, and he can
10
even mid into
seconds
DK
remaining.
pretty fine. So, like that's the interesting thing about it is it's very flexible.
You may now
Oh my god, the
select your
Skywrath
hero.
mid.
Is that a mid one,
Wow.
Skywrath? It is.
Yeah.
What
I
a response.
I'm curious to see what build he goes for, because like I bring up Topson a lot because he just plays all these weird heroes. He goes like 5 null talismans and treads. Like he
Okay.
just goes insane on that intelligence, and I've seen him stomp a lot of games. It's really scary, but I know that most people just go the Atos and the Aghanims, which overall it's quite good. I think it works well for their lineup because they do have all the physical damage they need to end the game and take the objectives. They need a bit more balanced damage type. So Skywrath does so much magic damage, and it's going to help them a lot versus this Necrolite. However, yeah, we didn't talk about the
10
Necrolite. The
seconds
Necro
remaining.
can be quite good against the Clinks. We said that it should be ranged,
5
and it
seconds remaining.
the Ghost Shroud pretty much protects him against the Searing Arrow, so he's always going to be able to heal back up if he needs to. So it could be pretty interesting, but I do feel like the Clinks will get all the CS he wants in this lane. And Earthshaker's not the best like laning support. He will just block the wave and give him a little bit of experience.
Skywrath final pick though, and I'm kind of thinking it does seem like a really strong one in the sense that either that Necro or Dragonite being mid, if Skywrath would probably be set up to do decent there. Pretty good in general against those kind of heroes. Where obviously the Growth Shroud isn't as effective then for Necrophos, and DK with his passive is not as effective. The same word there. The Ancient Seal Silence. It's not the greatest this game. That was the one thing to me that's, I guess it's great against Necrophos, but Luna and Dragonite don't care that much. So it's kind of a mix feeling for me with the Skywrath pick.
That's all post BKB.
Prepare
Before
for battle.
BKB, it's pretty effective. Like if I get a little bit of lockdown DK, like one magic missile with the Ancient Seal, it's gonna do a ton of damage. That's exactly what they need. They were a little bit lacking for damage on the secret side, so I do like the pick. It just there's a lot of question marks because we don't see these heroes very often in competitive play, especially on the core positions like the Clinks. For TFT, I feel like they picked a much weaker support duo this time. And for me, like if seeing that Venge in the beginning, I feel like there might have been a better option than the Shaker, but they did lack disable initiation, so that's probably what they were thinking about. Like if Necro had a better laning support than Earthshaker, then I would feel that
30
it could be pretty
seconds to
strong.
battle.
But because it's Earthshaker, it's gonna really come down to how this matchup just plays out, just 1v1, because it's gonna be Necro versus the Clinks and with plus Avenge. The Earthshaker won't really have that much of an impact besides saving him.
Pablo got down here very quickly and got a great ward down. He spotted all 3 heroes of Secret down there as well, so some early information. Now, mid one, he's going to help Boldy out for the bounty rune down here. Top lane, Fata, he's also doing some bowling against Frost, but Frost is able to pick it up first. Hanskin, though, he's taking some good damage against the Yapsor. Got that plus damage from the Astral Spirit and the speed, but I don't think it's going to be enough in the end. He has another Spirit, but yeah, with the Shadow Word, too much heal to get through. But that was that a 3-for-1 bounty rune? Or yeah, it's going to be a 3-for-1. This bounty rune's still here, so in favor of Secret.
Nice.
Somebody should pick it up.
It's interesting to note. This is something that people who play mid a lot should think about. They saw that the mid one was at the bounty rune, so the DK just, instead of blocking the wave and having the wave come into his tower, he just let a couple creeps go ahead so that it was even on the mid lane. If he did block the creeps, the momentum would have pushed towards Skywrath. That would have been really annoying for him. So it's nice decision making.
How about Puppy aggressively using the Wave of Terror on the creep wave right there? So it looks like they want to push this at the bottom lane.
It's just the most efficient way to harass. Like if you throw out Magic Missile, they know for a fact they can just fight back, and the mana cost is so high. With Wave of Terror, it's just good damage minus armor. It's gonna be very effective.
Oop, pause coming out, Brewmaster. But yeah, speaking of that, I mean, Jonas is definitely taking a bit of damage, but Ace is also at half-life himself currently, so of course has to be a little bit careful. But right now, Necrophos only with that Death Pulse at level 1 at this point. But we got our mid matchup of Skywrath Mage versus a Dragon Knight. So like I was saying, on paper, it does seem like Skywrath should have a better time. Am I right to think that? Or
he will. Like, there's nothing. It's like with most DK matchups, they kind of just trade form, and the DK doesn't really usually win. Last game was kind of an anomaly just because that's a good matchup, but DK will be fine. I feel like he's just going to stack up the Magic Stick charges, level up Dragon Blood, and have a Soul Ring, so he will have plenty of regen for this. And if he ever gets low, he will bring out a Salve. That's just, there's not enough mana on Skywrath at the moment to deal with that. But interesting thing about bottom lane is I actually think with the regen coming out from Death Pulse when Necro CS is, and if the Earthshaker is just being really aggressive, like if they ever find situations where they can trade a couple right clicks with the Fissure on top, they're actually going to have a pretty good advantage in this lane. So I do like the Necro House playing out. And then once the Heartstopper aura comes out, yep, it comes out right now. That's just a little bit extra damage that just keeps building up on the clinks. He doesn't have much regen, and he doesn't want to buy regen either. He wants to be building towards that Aquila and the Soul Ring. So right now, 5 Tangles is all he got.
Yeah,
and the bench can't really help him.
I was going to say, that Ghost Shroud is going to do really good this game, isn't it, against the, well, at least the Clinks. That goes back to the Skywrath pick, though. It's a nice hybrid idea where he's a lot of physical damage, Skywrath, of course, all magical damage instead. So kind of a give and take there as far as the idea goes. But Jonas and Fan, again, for those that may just be tuning in, at game number 1, we also had a Necrophos, and sure enough, it was in the hands of Team Secret, in the offlane, actually, and it was for their victory. So how about that? We got a Necrophos in game 3 now, too, and on the other team, and TFT trying to make it the series-winning hero as a result.
Look at Luna. She's just like we thought. With the Drunken Haze, just it makes it so hard for her to CS, even if she's in range. And then the constant threat of the Elder Titan, there is really good kill potential once the boots do come out in a couple more levels. If they ever get on top of the Warlock, a lot of times he will just straight up die.
Yeah, he is struggling. 8-1 right now and 11-4. Brewmaster, you see the Shadow Work coming out offensively, trying to help them as they can, but seems like for now, Brewmaster going to have the better time. So far, not many rotations happening. As I say that, though, Elder Titan, he is wrapping around middle lane. Want to maybe make a play here. Echo Stomp is good to go with the Astral Spirit. But Skywrath also taking some hefty damage, so backing off for the time being. I don't think they saw the Elder Titan, just simply happened to work out that way.
Yeah, there's no way they will kill DK. He's just too sustainable.
Yeah.
Even if Skywrath has double null.
That's a first blood. Necrophos just blows up with the wave of Terror Magic Missile. Then of course Klink's just throwing in Searing Arrows with a strafe. That caught Necrophos off guard completely. He did not know Vengeful was at the left there.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that Pablo went for the Stout Shield Shaker, because a lot of times you'll just spam up the clarities and just forego Stout Shield because you're not really wanting to right-click trade anyway. I think a lot of the pressure died down because of the Stout Shield choice, especially because it doesn't really matter against Searing Arrows. So he's actually caught in the tower. Okay, he's fine. But I feel that if he was constantly upping his mana and using Fissure, it would be a lot. They would be in a lot more better position, just volleying out their spells on Ace and just ruining his regen. Because you can see right now he used all of his regen already. He had 6 tangles; they're all gone. Spamming Fissure out would have been a lot more beneficial, especially with the Heartstopper aura. If they weren't planning on using, playing aggressively, then Ghost Shroud would have just kept him alive in every scenario.
Yeah. No, that's what I was just about to suggest as well, thinking about that. And yeah, he gets a little second point in Death Pulse, but gotta assume that's coming out at level 4, of course. Meanwhile, Pablo, way back here, he got stunned up. He does have a double damage rune, so trying to be clever with that. But in a bad spot, we'll just TP back to base and kick in the regen. Brewmaster, he also had a TP back to base. Gonna come back up top now. So Frost finding himself a bit of farm, and he's now 25-5, so he really jumped up there. We were stressing early in this laning phase. It was a struggle, but not so much anymore.
Something that I see really good Elder Titan players do, which I'm not saying Epsor isn't, but in the laning phases, what they do is they stack up camps, and then they throw their Astral Spirit into several stacked camps, pulled into lane and come out with like tons of damage with level 2 Astral Spirit, that would completely dominate this lane if you wanted to go for that route. So, not as strong as I thought it would be, but still, Brewmaster's the only one in lane.
You see, yeah, what they're doing. This is the second time they've tried that now with the other Titan, and you just they're not going to kill him. I mean, it would need everything would need to connect. I mean, he even has Ancient Dragon form, and I mean, Skywrath, maybe if he's level 6, I guess, but he wasn't even level 6 right there either. The Mystic Flare.
Even if he was, there is no disable for him to just stand into it. So unless Magic Missile came out from Venge, but I think he's just feeling a little lost on the later stage.
Well, he's going to come back once again. This time Air's only at half-life, so that could be a difference. He does have a wand. He's running it himself, has TP support in from Warlock. Auto attacks thrown out, Breathe Fire. Gets the Shadow Word heal. The Arcane Missile's not going to be enough damage. Auto attacks neither. And the Shadow Word heal will actually keep him alive, but Puppey. Puppey in the flank. Magic Missile level 2. Look at Arrow. He's running back forward, though. Yapster, he sends in the Astral Spirit. Can he somehow land an Echo Stop? Arrow's just going to keep on running. He's just hugging the tower as if he knows that Vengeful Spirit is maybe nearby. Arrow's going to survive.
God. That was literally the perfect amount of heal coming out.
Uh-oh. Well, no Skywrath now. So yeah, Puppey's just not going to go just yet. If Skywrath regens and TP's in here, right as eventual that Invis is going to wear off in a second, though. See it. But yeah, you're right. Warlock, level 2 Shadow Word. Clearly the difference maker at that point.
This is favoring TFT a lot in the laning stage. They pretty much have control of all 3 lanes, which is exactly what they want. I think probably top is the lane that is the worst for them. And once Brew does hit level 6, it gets really scary for Luna. So, you know, at least basically 2.5 lanes at this point. Still good for them.
Ooh, bottom lane. No Reaper Scythe means Clinks will be able to use that Skeleton Walk and get out of there, but close call.
Look at that tower pressure as well.
Radiant's bottom tower
that is extremely significant. If they can take that just before any rotations come out, the Clinks is going to be very scary, especially once level 6 comes out on Necro.
Yeah, we already talked about in the game 1 of this series how that Reaper Scythe, the buff to the ultimate as far as the penalty, even at level 1 now, 15 seconds added to that respawn time, so you do not want to die to that.
Look at this Clinks rotation. He's trying to gang mid, but
they really want mid.
I'm really not sure he can get that kill. I feel like he has to go top if anything. Let's see.
It's
2 points in the
2
straight.
Dragon Blood.
They
just Soul Ringed. Breathe Fire hit Skywrath though. There's the opening Mystic Flare. Yes, they do have plenty of damage.
I like that he leveled up Strafe instead of just maxing out Searing Arrow straight up. It gets a lot better the more you level it up, whereas Searing Arrows only jumps 10 damage. So it's actually better to level up Strafe in a lot of situations. So this shows that he actually plays the hero.
Yeah, I would hope so. In game 3 of a Super Major.
Well, sometimes you'd be surprised the amount of pros that like they think there's a cool idea and they just pick it.
Oh no, we've definitely seen that. It's seen examples of that before. It feels like he's harassing Frost up here at the top lane, but this is kind of similar to like a Slark when he gets that Shadow Blade. He'll become a core hero that really just starts rotating around looking for kills, and with that Skeleton Walk, of course, he can do it earlier. So is this probably what you'd expect out of the Clinks with that said? He's moving around now.
I think this is the best thing he can do. The fact that he got a mid kill is even better. And the great thing about Clinks is he's just so efficient at taking tower, so it's not wasted time at all. Like he couldn't lane bottom to begin with, and he created lots of space. And he wants to be in this lane to begin with. So the fact that they're trading like this, really good for the Clinks.
Tier 1 tower is going to trade as mentioned. So top tower, Fata. We'll get last hit credit up there. Bottom lane goes just in favor of the Dire as a whole. Necrophos is level 6 now, so that Reaper's Scythe threat is there. Warlock almost level 6 himself, and obviously that means Chaotic Offering. How about Pablo? He's going to choose to go the Forest Staff first, so we're not going to see the early Blink Dagger. Instead prioritizing Forest Staff, what do you think?
It's really good at counterplay into the Skywrath, and I feel like he wouldn't even get the Blink Dagger in time, so this way he's just building into it very slowly. I think Arcane Boots is pretty necessary, or a Soul Ring, but if he wants to go for his Force Staff, it's just going to be really good against Skywrath in general. They're not going to get kills.
Earthshaker. He did hit Clinks in the backlines with that fissure, but man, that strafe on top of the swap. No chance to survive. Necrophos just has to keep running. He might not be able to run for long, though. Vata, Primal Split is ready. And that doesn't want to go too far. Almost a Blink Dagger on Brewmaster, by the way. Speaking of that item, he's 20 gold away from being able to purchase it.
So good. Really nice communication. You pointed it out. The Clinks did give Vata the last hit on top tower that speeded up this Blink significantly. And now that they have it, they should ferry out a smoke at some point and just try to use the Brew Split on a tower. Probably mid.
Are scanning.
Are they going to smoke here? Nope, they don't have
If
smoke on
if
it.
they force the issue bottom, if TFT forces the issue on bottom into this Blink Dagger, it could be very bad. This is the fight that they want.
Dire's middle
But
tower
we do
is
actually we
under
do have
attack.
Warlock Rock, and that is it's fairly even. Just really depends on who gets the better positioning.
Chaotic Offering is ready to go, as mentioned. Kaya finished on Skywrath Mage. It's not the most popular item in general, but there are a couple of heroes that come to mind. Storm Spear, for example, and Skywrath definitely another one of those, especially in that core role.
Radiant are scanning.
And even no boots as well.
Oh, wow, yeah. Not the most mobile. Ooh, did they scan it? I think that scan just hit as they smoked in. It barely hit as it was wearing off. So the Radiant side Secret going to play it very safe. Era,
Radiant's
Ancient
middle
Dragon
tower
form's
is under
ready.
attack.
He'll activate it and go for the tier 1 push, but you feel that fight coming. Another TP, Brewmaster looks like he's coming. They see him, though, the fissure. It does not hit initially. Fontaine got the blink off. He can't promise split, though. Skywrath Mage taking the Reaper side, not enough for the kill initially, but with the Chaotic Offering, Mystic Flare put down a Dragonite. Down goes Skywrath Mage. Off of the backlands, Earthspitter does go off at a couple of heroes, including Earthshaker. He'll get caught by the Magic Missile, most likely going to end up falling. One more auto attack from Yapster will do the job there. Warlock, he's lifted in the air and brought right back down to the Primal Split from Brewmaster. So 3 for 1. They did end up killing the Dragon Knight as he was trying to flee all the way back here. Who got the DK? That was mid 1 ended up getting credit for the kill. Wow. That must have been an Arcane Bolt flying through.
He had a pretty high amount of HP. I saw on the DK, thought he was going to survive, but
Radiant's top
Kaya
tower
double
is
no
under
is so
attack.
much intelligence. Must have been barely bit enough.
Dire's
They're
middle
trying to
tower
create
is
space for
under
Luna,
attack.
but Secret kind of read that situation perfectly, and they also didn't know that the blink was up on the Brewmaster. It's just Brew Split at this point of the game is just so good that they overcame the rock, and it's like I feel like in those type of situations it's a little forced, seeing as Secret wasn't showing on any lanes, even specifically bottom. It's just very if no one's farming out bottom, it's just like it's kind of fishy, especially since I can imagine from their perspective they didn't see many Secret
Dire's
heroes.
middle tower is under attack.
Well, they try to force it there, and it does kind of backfire in a sense, especially with Skyra getting that kill in the end, so him dying not as critical. That Rod of Atos also coming along, so pretty much called it. The Kaya, Rod of Atos, top lane,
Radiant's top
Jonas.
tower is under attack.
Lynx is going to scout out a little more. Maybe find a better target. The silence comes out, though. Necrophos just explodes to Skywrath Mage. Pablo, meanwhile, he got the enchant totem off, but it wasn't nearly enough. Mid 1 gets credit for the kill on him, in fact. He gets a double kill out of this. Era, he'll at least be fine, but yeah, good patience from Ace there as well to find the better target.
It's kind of funny to
Radiant's
think
middle
about
tower is
that
under attack.
because TFT took that bottom tower so quickly, there wasn't an opportunity for them to do that first play where they smoke down with the entire team, blow a couple ultimates, stagger TPs coming from Secret potentially, or just a couple kills. That's a really nice opportunity for them. But because they went down so early, they're kind of lost as to where they should go. They tried to force down the mid, but in fact, when they went for that mid play, a lot of times it's better to actually bring the majority of your heroes, including the Luna, just blow the Eclipser one fight, then
Dire's
return to
top
farming. That
tower
would be
is
the
under attack.
safest idea.
Yeah. Well, that is the one thing that TFT does really have going for them. Going back to the Luna, she has her Mask of Madness. Working on the Dragonlance. Clinks is actually the top farm in the game, but Luna shortly behind. Ooh, Sentry's put down. They saw Puppy, who has another Invis rune. I feel like that's he had one not too long ago. But manages to find another one. But he's spotted there. Of course, Sentries, ideally for Clinks as well, being placed down. But speaking of the mid-tier 1 tower, Team Secret's the one putting pressure on now. But Luna
Dire's
in the
middle
vicinity
tower is under
could head
attack.
over if they want to defend this. And it looks like they
Dire's
do. They do have
structures
Chaotic
are
Offering.
fortified.
Again, Earthshaker doesn't have an initiation tool. He's really underfarmed, unfortunately. But we got mid-wars now. It's going to be a stare-off.
Oh yeah, and we have Brew Split here. I feel like in order for the rock to be effective, it's gonna have to hit 3 heroes. So as long as they position perfectly, it should be okay.
Oh, Warlock caught the Ancient Seal. The swap immediately. No chaotic offering as a result. Pablo's locking out Yapshis off to the side, but he's just going to throw out his stun as well. Jonas Fan manages to heal up. He'll be fine for the time being. Skyrath spamming those Arcane Bolts, though. Lockdown from Brewmaster assisting. Ace throwing in some Searing Arrows, and the boulder flies through from the Earth Brewling to finish the job from Fata. So 2 for nothing. You're talking about maybe chaotic offering could be the difference maker. Well, when he's silenced up that whole time, not so much. Eclipse activated from Frost. He's going for the turn kill, but Fata, he just goes right into the trees. Gets that efficient. Now he's going to jump back in. Even the Thunderclap now again. He doesn't have a Primal Split, but he's got plenty of teammate support, including that Earth Splitter put on through the Magic Missile. Already used as well, but here comes the chaotic offering. Its Warlock is now back up, not the highest level, so he comes up pretty quickly. Skyrath might have overextended. They did kill Fata. They take out the Skyrath Mage. And TFT does manage with a couple of core kills as far as the return goes. And are they thinking about Roshan, maybe? That would be something. Over here, Necrophos takes out Vengeful with the Reaper side. So 3 kills all of a sudden for TFT. And that didn't turn out as bad as it felt like it initially was.
A lot of that had to do with the fact that the respawn timers are so low. Warlock being able to rejoin the fight with the TP Rock, that completely changes the fight. Secret probably overplaying there. A lot of times when in the early game you get this momentum, you're used to being able to take something off of that, like the objective, quickly and clean up the fight, but because they're responding quickly, it's not a good place to fight. It's still good for Secret. They force out a lot of things, a lot of ultimates, so they will be able to take fights on their own pace, and they will have the Bruce Split much sooner than any ultimate on TFT, so that's probably going to be the next time they will fight.
Is this a game where Luna, does she go the BKB next? Is that like the high priority?
Not an amazing BKB game, but she will need it at some point. Probably the next item, yeah.
Yeah, it is that tough guy. It's like you got the Skyrath Mage, but then you also have a Clinks with Vengeful enhancement, so it is great hybrid here from Secret once again. Ace, speaking of him, Sentry, they spot him. They know he's here. It's just a matter. In fact, the creep wave, Ace will realize that too at the last second. Couldn't find the opening though.
Necro's building towards Pipe. Hood can help him a lot into the Skyrath matchup. Probably the better first item overall, just because that's the only way he really dies. But I'd like to see him build a Force Staff as well, just to protect against the Mystic Flare from the Skyrath. That helps the team out a lot if that damage doesn't come through, because mid one is a significant amount of damage, and the Mystic Flare is a lot of it as well. Huge percentage.
Pablo's trying to find that initiation now, and in fact, he is going to go to the Blink Dagger. So we talked about on paper, it made sense with the Forest Staff, but it seems like that they really wanted to just be able to jump in here, get that big Echo Slam off, and get that initiation solid. So going for the Blink Dagger instead, and he is getting enough gold right now to where he should have in the next minute or so.
Yeah, they really feel like they need that extra power in the team fights because they're not clearly advantaged. This Roshan is a huge deal because if Clinks can survive through all that burst and the ultimates, it's going to be a monster in the fights. I also want to point out like how different this game is because of the support choice from TFT. The fact that like Earthshaker is not really that great of a laning support, and we already saw what Warlock kind of contributed in the first game. Secret's got a lot of momentum off of this, where I feel like it could go completely the other way if TFT is able to secure their lanes a bit more. But like I think Clinks could have been in poverty mode, for example. If there was like an ogre up in his face, I know it was banned, but I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
If there was an ogre up in his face with that necro, that wouldn't even be close.
We saw him dying 3 games yesterday.
True, but I wouldn't say it's the best for Clink because he could easily burst down and dying like, during his decay window, and he's not a strength hero, so he doesn't really care.
Alright, fine. But I get your
something
point.
With a stun, like something that will lane a little bit better, put more pressure overall. It could have been anything really.
TFT smoked up here, got some vision down. Clinks eventually makes his way out though, and that's why TFT moved up here in the first place. Clinks was pressuring that tier 2. And you see 4 heroes up here, and Clinks is now in the middle lane instead. Gonna push this middle tier 2 tower. And they already used fortification, so they can't stop him in that sense. Warlock is porting in. But again, still plenty of poke damage from Klinks. He almost has an Orchid finished as well, but TFT, they want to make a fight. See, Ace is at half-life. Now he has an Aegis. There's that new blink from Era showing up. The swap initially may save Ace Loggers. Yes, it will. I thought Pablo was going to take him out, but he does not. Chaotic Offering eventually comes out, though. Ace will go down. The Aegis is going to bring him back up. Can they make a play with this? Primal Split activated from Fata. He's going to lift up Luna, so she's out of the fight for 6 seconds. The Earth Splitter does not hit as a result, but they do take out the Dragon Knight. And now Frostbot right back down, and not much teammate support now. She does have an Eclipse still. See if she wants to use it, but so many things to hit with that Eclipse probably wouldn't be the best anyways. But it's a triple kill for mid one nonetheless. And Fata is hunting for more, but finally TFT, the rest, are able to get out of here. Ace got the support. Oh, and they are going to go Warlock too, most likely. Thunderclap in the face. Hanskin's dead. Let's make a 4
Well,
kills.
we have Blink on Earthshaker. They were really trying to abuse the Blink Dagger timing on the DK, but fortunately there is Swap and Aegis, so the fight could have went well for them. However, they were already 2 behind from the early laning phase. This Blink Earthshaker, did they see it? They do have Echo. It got nerfed significantly, so it won't really kill heroes solo. He will need follow-up. But ideally they just set up a smoke right now and look for some kind of Blink Echo play.
Yeah, try to catch them off guard with that definitely would make sense, but Orchid's going to be delivered to Ace now. In the meantime, he already almost has 1,000 gold saved up on top of that. We talked about the BKB would be nice for Luna, but all she has is the Ogre Axe and only about 1,000 gold saved up herself, so still will like some time as well for that. The pipe almost finished on Necrophos, so feels like a theme here. A lot of almost cases on the Dire side. Secret actually has 4 heroes. He's just going to push out the bottom lane, and Klinks, he's going to lead the way. Hunt for another kill. See if he can find anybody.
They're feeling really confident in these fights. I think it's a little bit overconfident because it was so close, even with the Aegis, and they don't have split right now. This is definitely an opportunity for TFT if they want to take it.
Scarrath going the Axe.
Luna broke from the smoke, so he's not going to be involved. And they get scattered by Yapsor. He does ping it out. He knows.
Yeah. You see them just start scattering away now. Not fully falling back, though. They just want to get in better position. TFT to overextend.
The indecision is what killed them there. They had a really good opportunity if they would just push out that mid lane once they revive and then look for a smoke opportunity. That would have been the key spot right there. No primal split.
Can't find it though. Unfortunately, again, we still have not seen the Earthshaker blink though come into play. Waiting for that level 2 Echo Slam now online. You mentioned it was nerfed, but still, it is a nice opener. Dang. I was about to say, I mean, Klinks isn't the beefiest target, but he actually is pretty good right here. He's got even the magic resistance talent at level 10, so he's definitely not the easiest kill. You think of Klinks as this fragile hero, but he really isn't.
That's what I was saying earlier. I love the Venge and the Klinks. It's probably the top 2 best support duos with the Klinks overall. It just covers all of his bases. Just that swap. There's no way if Puppy's in position that they will actually kill him with their initial burst.
Oh, that Klinks going to provide plenty of damage to the tier 3. Get the fortification. Era, Ancient Dragon Form's already active. It's not going to be the most duration left though. However, Secret will just retreat. Again, they're not looking to overcommit. They're just, if anything, getting the response out of TFT, then going back and continuing to choke them out as far as the farm goes. But Luna's finding some decent farm over here, and that BKB is now just about finished at least.
The sad thing is that if the Klinks pops BKB on top of the Luna and gets maybe 7 hits, she will just die, even through the BKB. So it's very, very scary in that matchup.
Yeah. What the levels looking like? Luna is the first one to hit level 15, so she actually gets her Lunar Blessing damage as a result of that, but something to keep an eye on. As far as the talents making progress on either side. Elder Titan, he went to Vanguard first, and now he's actually going his own BKB. Is the Yapsor. How about that Vanguard, man? Crimson Guard, I guess, eventually.
Wow. He's got 2,000 HP.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane. I mean, it's into a Necro, though, so it's not going to be the most effective. You will be able to get Reaper Sight down. I guess he just wants to go man mode, and just definitely is going to let him do so. I'm thinking about this pipe and Veil on the Necro, and I'm just thinking like how big force that would be because I saw the justification for the Earthshaker as the first item, but they don't have it right now, and it makes a huge difference in the fights. I feel like the pipe is not really gonna save anyone. You know, like if anything, it will mitigate Elder Titan's ultimate a little bit, but that's not the problem that they have. The problem they have is the positioning. Just I'm not really sold on the item choices.
Ooh, Dragonite. They're pinging him out. They know exactly where he is somehow. Someone must have spotted him earlier, but he's going to be stopped trying to TP, and Arrow will be picked off. Dead for 50 seconds. Yeah, they saw him sneak in there or something. Because Fata jumped exactly right on top of him. Got that thunderclap.
Sometimes you just pick up on patterns, like, but they might have ward as well. I'm just saying, like sometimes you see how a player plays, and you know, like they'll go for those greedier side lane plays where they try to hide, and it's possible that that was the case. But either way, TFT, they're at a loss right now. They want this Luna ideally to get to the butterfly, which is a long ways off. That's gonna be the point where she can actually find the clings, but of course she can itemize her MKB, and that will not be a possibility. So pretty much the entire game with the advantage of the clings. As long as they get the next Roshan, the Luna is always going to be the weaker carry in that matchup.
Ace taking out the tier 2 top tower. Excuse me. Just going to farm more of the jungle now. Necrophos. That 4-staff is actually almost finished on him, and we mentioned Earthshaker is still working for us as well. He's being spotted here by Puppey as the sentry's put down. You throw out the fissure, though. He does have some backup nearby. Secret committing for this. Pablo gets swapped back in. Now Puppey, he finds Hanskin as a result, so they get the easy kill out of Pablo. They're going to also catch Warlock, maybe. Magic Missile. Yes, the Rod of Atos comes out. And the Arcane Missile to finish the job there. Necrophos, he's also caught with the Primal Split of Fata. Forcing out a Ghost Shroud. Going to lift him up. He is pretty deep, though. Elder Titan, the Echo Stamp on top, and they bring him down. It was not the best time, though. So he manages to escape, but Warlock, he's only up in 15 seconds, so not the biggest deal there. In case they pushed. Roshan is up, though, for Secret.
That's free. There's no, if TFT fights into that, they will guarantee lose that fight.
Ag's finished on Skywrath, by the way, so that means we're going to see that duplicate now, especially with that Mystic Flare. Really powerful.
So good.
Yeah.
Let's see what they could do. Puppey, Sacrificial Lamb, break the smoke.
He's going to tank it. They get the Aegis, and Puppey's living, man. That Echo Stop the Ear Split is going to be perfectly set up on 4 heroes. I mean, there's not any follow-up initiation, but the fact that Puppey even lived is ridiculous.
It's just, this game is just so sad because I felt like, I really believed the TFT recognized the weakness in this Vengeful Spirit. Just such a bad laning support, really bad. The best thing you could do is really punish that. But I'm just looking at it from the perspective of the Shaker and Hanskin, you know. Last game he was just almighty Chen, he could go anywhere he wanted, push all the towers, he's so strong. At this game he's just struggling to find a position where his rock will have really good impact, and he's also being focused fire down. It's a very rough Warlock game.
Oh, that was, where was that? That was top lane.
Orchid Nullifier. Nothing you can do.
Nullifier now, yeah, jeez. Yeah, literally no response from Necrophos, especially at that point. So, missed on camera, but you can pretty much guess what happened very quickly. Brewmaster bottom lane. The Clipsis use it's hitting a lot of creeps, though. Finally going on to Brewmaster. We'll get the kill, but at what cost now? Echo Stomp coming out. Chaotic Offering going to be thrown out, though, from Hanskin. Pablo blinking 6 more seconds. Swapping to Hanskin. Puppey's going the other way. He's going to make them chase him, if anything. And once again, he may still survive. Ace TP's in. So they do have Clinks here as well. Chaotic Offering using the Nullifier on it. Wants that kill, man. Wants that bounty. He's not going to get it, though. So still no Echo Slam from Pablo. Just has not found the angle. The chance to use
part
it.
of the playstyle of the Earthshaker is you want to have that movement speed. Like at least a Windlace or something. Sometimes you have Tranquils and it helps you set up for that Blink Dagger. Another option that Yapsor actually popularized is he goes for the Aether Lens, which gives you that little bit extra range on your Blink Dagger, and actually makes a huge deal. But right now, just ground boots solely, it's very hard to capitalize on those opportunities. And even, you know, his Blink was canceled that last fight because he did use it to secure the fissure on the Brewmaster.
Frost has been a little bit indecisive, as by the way, Ace, he even has an Arcane Rune. He opens up, watches Necrophos melt. Hunskin's like, hey, take a Shadow Word. Yeah, that's not going to help him there. Slowly healing over time. Will not do it against the Clinks like that. Necro's down for 40 seconds, but I was going to go back to Luna. She actually had a Butterfly then queued up a little bit there for a second, but now she's gone back to the Yasha, and she is committed towards the Manta style. So you talked about how important that Butterfly will be, but that's going to even be more delayed now because of the Manta choice instead. As he's found. Uh-oh. Brewmaster, Primal split. He's forcing out a BKB at least. He also has Puppy coming in. Swap is ready to go.
Uh-oh.
He's got that swap. So the second he tries to maybe make a play, I mean, he has a TP, but obviously he can't do it just yet. He's going to keep on running. Ace gets a pick on Pablo. Meanwhile, they're pushing into the base, by the way. Hanskin also goes down. So Frost is on the run. Back over to the middle base, though. The tier 3 tower is also in trouble. Ace, he makes his way out, getting about half-life. So Frost does make the escape at the top lane somehow. A little too fast, but back to the middle lane. Into Dragon forward. The Nullifiers put up. Click doing so much damage to Dragon Knight and will finish stop. Skywrath Mage is picked off, however, by the Reaper side to Jonas and Fan. And now Ace is in trouble. That will mean Aegis? No, he manages to live. Deathbolt's out of range.
How the hell did Frost get out of there? Oh my god.
I don't know.
That's like
Thought for sure he
it's
was
that
dead.
Yasha mob. He couldn't TP because he would just get swapped and somehow juke them to the trees on the left. Probably because there was so much pandemonium going on. All the players are probably, the comms are really like, you know, a lot of people talking at the same time. It's hard to coordinate.
But he just jumps in. He has the juice as well. The aggressive swap on a Necrophos. Once again, the Nullfire comes out, and Ace just absolutely melts him. He buys back immediately, though. Frost coming in with that Eclipse. Vanta eats the cheese. He's taking so much of that. Ace is still alive. He does have an Aegis, so he's just going to stand his ground, actually, despite the chaotic offer. And the Echo Slam finally comes out, and that was not the most ideal Echo Slam.
A little greedy. He went for the Enchant Totem first. He would have landed that Echo Slam 100%, but it was on an Aegis.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I really like the combination that Seeker did. Okay, well, first of all,
Oh my god, he's
dead Necro.
he just hunts this Necrophos apparently.
The swap into Nullifier, like you pre-click the Nullifier Orchid, swap into it directly. There's almost nothing you can do about that. You have to react extremely fast, but it's not like he had any tools anyway. So I really like that coordination. Such a strong combo.
Link said Aegis going to be despawning very shortly here, but you know, has a full Bloodthorn, and it doesn't really feel like. I mean, he's been scared a couple of times, but there you go. As it is taken away, puts the ring back in his inventory. Doesn't seem like that's going to deter Secret though from continuing to push. However, mid one, he's leading the way bottom lane. Ace, he'll activate the Death Pact on a siege creep, and he'll just beat down that tier 3 tower. Arrow jumps in. As Dragon Knight pops his BKB, so the Mystic Flare won't kill him necessarily. Frost in the back lane, dealing with the Primal split of Brewmaster. And Brewmaster's actually might die right here. He will go down in fact. Frost just simply right-clicked him down. Dragon Knight was picked off as well, though. Hanskin throws out the Dust. Puppy having to run off to the left. Fatal Bonds helping to tick him down a little bit. Pablo throws out the Fissure now. He's trying to stop Clinks as much as possible. Tier 3, of course, dead. Jonas the Fan is back into the fight, so he has a Reaper Scythe. They get the catch of Luna, though, with the Mystic Flare, and they get the kill. She buys back immediately. Pablo's also dead. Ace just cannot be touched, apparently. He just takes out the racks. Here at the bottom, that's the second set of racks. Now he's going for Luna. Luna has to run back to the fountain. She does not have a buyback, of course. Necrophos, he's also in trouble. He's going to get caught with no buyback. Ghost Shroud, that's not going to save him in the long run. He's dead for 50 more seconds, so... Yeah, they're going to go for
Did you
tier
see
4.
what happened?
What happened?
You know Strafe dodges projectiles, right? He dodged Dragon Tail.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He literally dodged Dragon Tail with Strafe, and then Arrow was like, wait, what? And then he just got turned on.
Well, making some big plays. GG's are called. Game 3 will go the way of Secret, so TFT, they put up a hell of a fight here in this 3-game series, obviously forcing the third game even, but ultimately Team Secret victorious and advancing on into the winner's side. So TFT, again, still in it. Ultimately, no one gets eliminated here in the group stage. It's just a matter of where you place going into the main event. But look forward to seeing how both teams continue to progress here. But, yeah, Game 3 of the series ultimately going the way of Secret. What do you think, Fluff?
I felt like the supports of TFT didn't really match up to the power of the last game, and that was the big deciding factor this game. I didn't think there was anything wrong with their hero choices or lanes. It was more like the supports are just not really doing what they need to. I think they need to shore that up moving forward, but you know, Secret, they are picking these wonky drafts. It's always great to see. It's always entertaining, But I feel like if they get tested by a tier 1 team picking stronger supports, that Venge might not be the best choice for them moving forward. But still a great series. I'm really happy they went to game 3, and it was really fun. So yeah.
Yeah, hell of a series to watch, entertaining. Hopefully you guys were as well, both with the teams and us as casters here. Look at Ace, by the way, 10-0-12, another very successful game for him. And quite the stat line really throughout this whole series, even in the losing game. I think he managed pretty decent. But, again, a great effort from Team Secret. They advance on the winner's side. I don't know if the other match had finished as well. I can refresh to check real quickly. Looks like they are in the game 3 of Mineski versus VGJ Storm. Obviously, Secret plays the winner of that. TFT will play the loser of that from Group C action. But that does mean this stream, at least, we are going to be wrapping up. It cuts down to 2 streams after these first set of matches, both the main stream and, of course, the secondary stream for the casters that are there at the event. And that also means for us, as remote casters, we are going to be done wrapping up here with the group stages. So, Fluff, as always, man, I really do appreciate you joining me as a co-caster. Any shout-outs, any final words from yourself but before we do wrap up here?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed me and my casting and Breaky as well, just follow us on our Twitters. It's in the title. And yeah, thank you for watching. This is going to be a great tournament. Love to see what the teams can show us, especially the new EG.
Yeah, they're I'm looking forward to that. I didn't get the chance to watch them yesterday, but again, a disappointing result from them. Now they have their chance to prove in the main event portion, though. So, yeah, there's a lot of storylines in this event, and the format's fantastic. It really is a great finish to the DPC. So, obviously, it's amazing that we got the opportunity to even be a part of it. But, again, that is going to be our final coverage for us as casters for this event. But we'll both be watching, it sounds like, as well to plenty of you as well. So big shout out to you guys for tuning in. Like he said, hopefully you enjoyed it. You can follow us on Twitter, on social media and everything, and feel free to give feedback as always as well.